Good evening. Vice President Sara Duterte believes senator judges on her impeachment trial should not be asked to inhibit solely because of their political biases. Duterte's remark comes amid calls to have some senator judges recuse themselves from the trial, particularly those who the Vice President herself endorsed during the 2025 midterm elections. At a press conference on Monday, June 16, Duterte says political bias can't be the basis for inhibition. If this is the basis, Duterte points out that senators who are biased against her should also inhibit themselves. The Vice President singles out Senator Risa Ontiveros for openly expressing her supposed desire to take down the Duterte family.
Hindi kasi tayo pwede magpa-inhibit ng mga senator judges based on bias. Dahil ang posisyon lang naman ng isang tao is you are for or against. Inday Sara, no? Kung ganun ang ating basehan sa inhibition, ay dapat din natin ipa-inhibit ang mga senators na meron ding bias against Sara Duterte, no? Tulad na lang ni Senator Risa Ontiveros.
She then says the senator judges should be given the benefit of the doubt that they will do their job fairly.
So, kung ganon, na magpa-inhibit tayo based on bias, ay madaming senators ang ipapa-inhibit for or against Sara Duterte. Kaya sinasabi ko, ibigay na natin yung benefit of a doubt dyan sa ating mga senator judges na gagawin nila ang trabaho nila ng patas according to sa sinumpaan nila as senator judges.
Asked if she will personally attend her trial, Duterte doesn't respond directly. Instead, she says that it is up to her lawyers to determine if she will have to present herself before the Senate Impeachment Court when the time comes. Duterte's team received the summons from the Senate Impeachment Court on June 11. She is facing trial after the House of Representatives impeached her in February. Vice President Sara Duterte says her office proposed a budget of 733 million pesos for next year, maintaining the current budget for 2025. In a press conference on Monday, June 16, Duterte says the office of the Vice President is essentially keeping the same budget allocated for her office in 2025 because she believes seeking a higher amount will likely be denied.
Inaasahan ko naman na hindi ibibigay yung budget ng Office of the Vice President dahil nga hindi naman kami kaalyado ng administrasyon. At nakita na natin yon noong nakaraang taon na syempre kung hindi ka sumusunod, hindi ka kaalyado, ay hindi ka mabibigyan ng pondo para sa mga proyekto ng opisina mo.
Duterte says the decision to retain her office's budget also stems from her desire to prevent her staff from supposedly being humiliated during budget deliberations.
Kaya nagdesisyon ako na kung ano yung budget na ibinigay ngayong taon na ito ay yun din yung budget. Naglagay lang kami ng konti para sa inflation, yun din yung budget para sa susunod na taon dahil ayaw kong napapahiya at pinapahiya yung mga ibang personnel ng Office of the Vice President, lalong-lalo na kapag nandun na sila sa House of Representatives or sa Senate na nakaharap yung ating mga miyembro ng Kongreso.
Last year, the OVP's proposed budget for 2025 was cut down from about 2 billion pesos to 700 million pesos. House lawmakers decided to reduce the OVP's budget after Duterte repeatedly refused to directly answer their questions concerning the use of the public funds. Lawmakers also cited redundant and inefficient programs of the OVP. Duterte is facing an impeachment complaint where she is accused of misusing both the Department of Education and the OVP's funds. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says sharing content generated by artificial intelligence erodes public trust, saying government officials who do so must acknowledge their actions. In a briefing on Monday, June 16, Castro says it was concerning that this information would come from government officials themselves. Senator Bato de la Rosa earlier reposted what appears to be an AI-generated video criticizing the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Ang pag-share ng mga katulad na ganyan, muli, disinformation, fake news, hindi po sana nanggagaling sa mga opisyal ng pamahalaan. Nakakaduda, mas nakakawala ng tiwala kung mismo sa matataas na opisyal nanggagaling ang mga disinformation at fake news.
Castro further emphasizes that public officials should be responsible for what they repost online. She points out how public officials have the power to influence people due to their position.
So ngayon, na ginawa po nila, at wala tayong magagawa doon, dapat lamang po nilang i-acknowledge na ang ipinasa nila na video ay hindi totoo at hindi tunay. Responsibilidad nila to. Dahil ang bawat salita na binibitawan nila sa taong bayan, leader sila, yaan ay totoo sa pandinig at pananaw ng bawat isa. So dapat maging responsable sa anumang sinishare nila na impormasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
De La Rosa drew criticism over the weekend after sharing what appears to be an AI-generated video. The video features a supposed interview with two male students explaining why they did not support Duterte's impeachment. The caption of the original video was marked with the hashtag AI. De La Rosa reposted the video on his account with a caption lauding the youth and attacking critics. Following the backlash, De La Rosa says he doesn't care whether he shared AI content, noting he focused on the video's message. 8 chiefs of police in Metro Manila were relieved from their posts for failure to comply with the 5-minute response time of the Philippine National Police. In an interview on Monday, June 16, PNP Chief General Nicolas Torre III says the chiefs of police came from the cities of Caloocan, Navotas, Valenzuela, Mandaluyong, Marikina, San Juan, Parañaque, and Makati. No other details about the relieved cops were provided. According to Torre, more police officers will be relieved and more positions will be open to those who will be qualified to meet the PNP standards. Torre explains that the decision to relieve the officials is about, quote, accomplishing the mission. He adds that the 5-minute response will not be fulfilled without command from the chiefs of police. Meanwhile, in a separate press conference on Monday, Torres says the PNP will utilize the Metro Manila Development Authority's high-resolution CCTV cameras for rapid response operations. Torres says if police will monitor any crimes through the CCTV feed, they will dispatch a team immediately. The PNP set the target emergency response time of 5 minutes in pilot areas in Metro Manila. Torre earlier said that the 5-minute response time will be reduced to 3 minutes within the next 3 months. After assuming office as BNP chief, Torre vowed faster emergency response by the police. The Department of Transportation says the license of the taxi driver who overcharged a passenger at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport will be revoked. In a viral video, a passenger is heard complaining about being charged about 1,200 pesos by a taxi driver for transporting her between NAIA Terminals 2 and 3.
Terminal 2, papuntang Terminal 3, 1,260, ganon? Ano yan?
1,200.
Kuya, para naman.
Huwag naman, lugi tayo sa gasolina pabalik, ma'am. 1,100 na lang, sige 1,100.
Kuya, grabe ang mahal ng ano mo.
Kaya 1,100 na lang.
Airport, terminal. Diyos ko po, kung alam ko lang, kuya. Para na kami nagbiyahe ng probinsya.
During a press conference on Monday, June 16, Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon slams the incident, emphasizing that drivers should not abuse and overcharge their services to passengers. Dizon then urges passengers to record any abuse in public transportation and report them directly to the agency. He also addresses taxi drivers and warns them against overcharging passengers.
Kaya ang advice ko na lang sa inyo, huwag nyo nang gagawin yan. Kasi ito mangyayari sa inyo. Walang biro to. Kalokohan na yon. Yan na pang-aabuso na yan. Pang-aabuso na yan. So, yung driver na yon, nagpapasalamat ako sa LTO at sa LTFRB, yung driver na yon, i-revoke na ang lisensya. At more importantly, no, the drivers, suspended na yung driver.
D-Zone also reveals that the provisional authority of the driver's taxi unit has already expired. He says that the operator, Taxi Hub Transport, may face raps for allowing the unit to operate with an expired franchise. For its part, Taxi Hub Transport says it does not tolerate any form of misconduct or abuse against any passenger. Local oil companies announced a big-time pump price hike of almost 2 pesos per liter, mainly due to the escalating tension in the Middle East. In separate advisories on Monday, June 16, oil firms say gasoline and diesel prices will climb by 1 peso and 80 centavos per liter on Tuesday, June 17. Meanwhile, kerosene prices will increase by 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter. PTT Philippines will implement the price increases on Tuesday at 6 a.m. Caltex Philippines will follow at 6:01 a.m. and Clean Fuel at 4:01 p.m. This marks the 5th consecutive week that gasoline prices have risen. Last week, industry sources projected a hefty fuel price hike as global oil prices spiked by some 5% due to the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.